Okay, people, what I'm going to tell y'all about today, I'm going to tell y'all how to do two things on a vehicle. You know, I'm speaking basically about the Ford F-150 trucks, 1997 to 2004, which would apply to vehicles even before that, because I owned a 91 Mark 7 Lincoln Coupe, and the fuel filter, well, it was on the right side of the car towards the rear in the frame, but the fuel pump itself and assembly was the same thing as my '02 F-150 Super Crew. It was a little shorter, but the motor was the same damn thing, and I had to change it. Let's see, this was back in 2007 before I sold it. I changed that fuel filter, just the motor, and I got it from AutoZone. Well, they're higher now, but I got it. It was about $9.99. Instead of buying, it's easy to do. You know, but what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to start about how I keep seeing videos about F-150s, you know, because it's something I view occasionally, you know, because I own a 2002 F-150 Super Crew truck myself, you know, and I like it a lot. You know, to me, it's like a stagecoach from the 1800s. But people that change these fuel filters, they keep doing all of this unnecessary, stupid, retarded nonsense. Where when they change the fuel filter out, they will actually disconnect the inertia switch plug in the kick box, the right passenger side kick box where those are located. They will disconnect that, and then they, on the engine, the fuel rails on the passenger side, they will take the screw cap off of the Schroeder valve, which is like a valve in a tire stem, and then they will take something and depress that to let fuel out. And I have even seen stupid guys go as far as to disconnect the battery. I mean, this is so stupid, people. It's so stupid. Because, okay, a fuel filter that's on your frame rail, okay, like 97 to 2004 Ford trucks, it's on your frame, the inner part of your frame, on the driver's side, and about the middle of what the driver's door would be. You know, you crawl under there, and there it is. You know, it's held in by a piece of metal that just bends back and forth, and it has two clip-on fuel lines with metal tips that have little teeth in them that clip on to the ends of the filter. Alright, people, here's something you need to understand. Let's get this in order. An electric fuel pump has between 5 and 7 pounds pressure. Alright? 5 to 7 pounds pressure. It does not have what would be anywhere from 25, like on these 4.6 and 5.4s, 25 pounds up to 40 pounds of pressure, people. It doesn't have that, for God's sakes. Because, see, that is controlled. Pressure buildup in the fuel rails is in front of what is your fuel pressure regulator, which is on the driver's side of your engine, you know, the left engine blank fuel rails, in the back of the fuel rails where the fuel line plugs into. Okay? See, that is how pressure is allowed to build up in the pressure rails, or the fuel rails, I mean. But as far as from the fuel pump in the gas tank up to the left side fuel rails, that's only 7 pounds, people. And once you kill that engine, the engine's not running, and you crawl under there to change your fuel filter. Okay, you don't need to relieve the fuel from this rotor valve on the fuel rails. You do not need to unplug the inertia switch. People, that's all just wasted time, and to be honestly blunt, it's stupid ass bullshit. Okay? Now, when you change one of these fuel filters, here's some tips that'll make things a lot easier, but just shut your engine off. You know, let it sit there about 10 minutes or so, you know, before you change the fuel filter. Crawl under there. Have some paper towels. Paper towels are beautiful. I use them instead of shop towels. And just have some paper towels, about 3 in your hand. You know, and when you go to, you know, remove the fuel line ends that push on to the fuel filter on these, okay, just hold paper towel up there. And always have goggles on. Or even if you wear large sunglasses like I do, hell, just wear your large sunglasses, you know. Or you can have safety glasses on where they're not glass or goggles, but to where they're just the clear, like they use in machine shops, you know, or a lot of warehouses. And get under there. Okay, before you try to disconnect these fuel lines, let me give you some simple advice, people. Okay, these ends of these fuel lines, the one coming from the gas tank, the fuel pump, and the one, you know, that goes from the fuel filter over up to your left fuel, the back of your left fuel rail. Okay, those push on, they have little claws in them that make them click into place. Okay, the ends are made out of metal. First thing you do, take a can of WD-40, extend the straw out just like this, the straw end. Alright, hold it up here, and on the inner part of the fuel line that's at the filter, just spray some of that in there. Just spray a little in there. Then do the other side, okay? You got it? Then take a pair of pliers, okay? And put over that metal end on that fuel filter and just wiggle it back and forth. Here, I'll illustrate the amount of time and distance you'd do. Okay. I'd be holding the fuel filter here like this to make sure it doesn't move. I'd have my pliers on the metal end. There you go. See, what that'll do is it'll loosen it up, and the WD-40 penetrating oil will be in there. Alright, now, you can use the scissor type fuel line remover. You can use these plastic ones like I do, right here. These plastic ones. Okay, on these different sizes, let's see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. Okay, from the smallest to the biggest, you'd want to use the second largest one, which is the blue one on the bottom. Let me put my finger on it, the blue one on the bottom. Let me get it out of here so you people can see it better. Okay, let me explain how you use these. Okay. Alright. One end of these opens up. Let's see how close we can get it, you see? And all you have to do is hold the end that opens up. See, like how that spreads there? Okay. And you just take and you tilt it like this and just push it down on that metal part of the filter, you know, that extends out there, you know, the end. And then you've got WD-40, you know, in that metal end of that other one. Alright. just push this in there. But at the same time you're pushing this in there, grab the fuel line and push it forward, and then this to push it in. See, that way it moves the teeth in the fuel line connection forward a bit, allowing the teeth to retract easier for this to go all the way in. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And then hold this in all the way. Don't let it slip out. And then simply pull your fuel line off. Now, some you might have to fight with it a little bit. But, you know, don't get crazy or whatever. You know, you might have to, like this flat end here, put your pair of pliers, you know, just put it in there to keep it from popping out, and, you know, have the battle of Armageddon, get that fuel line off, okay? Now, to get those fuel filters out after you disconnect the lines, okay, here's the secret to that. It's very easy to do. After both fuel lines are on, the end that's pointing towards the tank, just cup your palm under it and push that son of a bitch up, and it'll tilt at an angle. You see, to come out of that, because that piece of metal, it's about 1.5 inches wide, all that does, it just bends back and forth. It has flex in it, okay? And then, you know, you push it up, it's going to come on out. That's all you have to do. It's simple. And then getting the new filter in is also simple. And on these 97 to 04 Ford F-150s, as far as the directional flow, I don't know, a guy is under his truck in a video I watched the other day. It's the same stupid guy that unplugged his inertia switch and bled off his fuel rail, stupid. And he's sitting there, the old filter is still up there in the frame bracket, and he's studying, well, where's the direction of the flow? The in arrow and the out arrow. And I'm thinking, dumbass, the end facing the tank is kind of rounded up on the end. The end facing the engine is flat. Okay? How could anybody not visually just see that? It's kind of big, you know? That's not hard to determine. Now, if a filter was the same exact design on each end, well, then I could understand looking for the arrow or whatever. But do what you want to, do what you shall, people. Okay, and I've got an electric fuel pump motor on its way. It's I ordered it 2 days ago just to have for backup for that Ford Super Crew. I paid $17 for it. I found out you can get that for $9.99 because I typed in 02 Ford F-150 fuel pump motor, and it showed pictures on the top of the YouTube page, and then there's videos under it. It showed pictures, and it's like, click here, and I clicked on one. It's $9.99. See, I could have bought that, but you know, the one I bought at eBay, you know, it came with the, you know, fuel strainer and all that, but that's all you need, people. See, it's like this. If you have a vehicle and your fuel pump goes bad, it's going out, or it just fails altogether, as long as your float works, your gasoline float works, well then, why the hell would you need to change the entire assembly? You'd only need to change the motor, people. The motor is the only thing you'd need to change. Why pay, you know, hundreds of dollars like a lot of people do? I checked out the prices at AutoZone, O'Reilly, in advance. Those prices are ridiculous. Those people should be in prison for fucking extortion. It's ridiculous. Now here's where you can get the full assembly as of what's the going affordable price on eBay right now. You can get that full assembly between $34 and $38 on eBay. You can get them for that. So you could go that route, you know, pay up to $38, one of those. That's not too bad. And it's going to be just as good as one that is a Delphi at AutoZone. They wanted $224, and I'm like, man, you need to build more prisons in this country, you know. I'm like, bullshit on that. But these are some tips, people. And if, I am distinct, my voice and my descriptions and my explanations. If you don't understand everything I've said, watch the video again. Watch it again. You know, and then click on pause and write down what I said, and you'll know these things. You won't have to fight a battle, bust your knuckles up, and all this crap, you know, in the future. But remember, those fuel filters never, ever have more than probably 4 pounds of pressure. Because, see, you can have up to 7 pounds pressure going to that filter. But then the pressure is going to start reducing when it reaches that point. But even if it has the full amount of pressure, like 7 pounds, that is not going to hurt you, man. That's not going to hurt you. You're going to be alright. It's not going to go, it's not going to have a bunch of pressure on it. Because, see, when you shut the engine off, okay, the fuel pressure regulator on that fuel rail, it's going to close because it has a vacuum line on it, okay? And when the engine's not running, the vacuum is gone. It can't, the vacuum tube can't operate that plugs into that fuel pressure regulator on that fuel rail. So any gasoline behind those fuel rails, it's just going to drain back to the gas tank. So the only fuel that's going to be left in that fuel filter is to where it's going to be halfway full. Halfway full. You see? So even if you disconnected the inertia valve and then do like a lot of guys, you know, or they'll start the engine and let it run till it runs out of fuel at the fuel rails, that fuel filter is still going to be half full, so it's going to be the same down result anyway. But, you know, these videos never do a lot of unnecessary, stupid ass things that a lot of people get started. They're not mechanics. They don't they might know the assembly of something, but they don't actually know the function of something. That makes a big, big difference. But Monday, when my fuel pump, that motor comes in, that I paid $17.50 for, I'm going to show it to you people. I'm going to show it to you. And it comes with the screen, which is also the old days, they called those fuel sock. Fuel sock is what they call them. Or you can call it, you know, pump motor spring, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, even pump motor spring, okay, the motor I ordered, it comes with it. But let's say one didn't. You can take those, and you can just take soapy water, and with just your hands wipe the outer part off good, and then rinse it off with water, let it dry, and then put it back on that motor. You know, it's going to be alright. You know, because any debris would have to be on the outside, not the inside. But to make sure it's clear in the way that fuel can go into it, what you'd want to do, just take it and blow through it. You know, the part that's got through it, you blow through it. And if you can blow air through it, well, then it's going to be able to suck in fuel or whatever. If you get a new fuel straightener, they call it, or fuel sock, some call it, go ahead and put it on, you know, okay? But anyway, y'all all have a great day. And even though I didn't have a fuel filter or a fuel pump motor to show y'all, I talk distinctively enough you can understand what I'm saying, okay? You can know what I'm saying. But anyway, Monday I will show one of these fuel pump motors that goes in the 97 to 2004 Ford. It may go in some earlier than that or after that, because it did have in the listing also for Mustang, Crown Victoria, Lincoln, you know, but then distinctive F-150 4.6 and 5.4 inch, you know, so that I know it's the right one. But anyway, I hope you're all having a great day, or a great evening, or a great night, or early morning, whichever it may be. May God bless you, and Jesus Christ is your Savior and your best friend. Later, later, that's all for now. Da 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 da.